Is there a possibility, a threat of an Israeli involvement? At what point? With Jordan, for instance, if Iraqi troops go into Jordan,
I think what we should do is we should watch the situation carefully, and if we see a threat or a potential threat developing in this context against Israel, then we should consider what action we should take. I don't see any immediate or imminent threat.
Well, let me just rephrase that question then, because based on your answer, what are the implications of the war between Iran and Iraq as far as Israel and this particular part of the Middle East conflict is concerned?
Reason is defense.
By the way, משום שמיד הייתה תגובה ישראלית שבמסע ההדחה לישראל מוכנה ללכת להדחת ישראל לא מוכנה. והסורים הבינו שבנושא אבל באותה מידה שדגש רב מאוד והייתי אומר במדיניות ובאסטרטגיה שהיא שונה מהטיפול בזירות ההתמודדות האחרות מסוים. על מעמדה האסטרטגי של ישראל בשלב התערבות העם. אבל דומני שבאותה הצדקה צריכה סוריה לחשוש נוצר על די מה שאני קורא בגידתה של מטר מעברה לזירה העיראקית. סוריה היום נמצאת במצב שיש לה למעשה עיראקים בצפון, אבל יש לה גם את הגזרה הירדנית ויש לה הרבה מאוד משמעות. בלי לפרט מדי, בזמן שלי קצר, אני רוצה לציין שמבחינת יחסי הכוחות לישראל יש תקופה של לפחות שנתיים עד 1972 ואולי ניסינו להגיע לדברות עם הירדנים, ניסינו להגיע לדברות. יש על השאלה שלך, באותה תקופה שאתם מנסים והיו כל מיני שמועות על העניין הזה, ואולי כן הכניסו הרבה מטרות של ישראל ללבנון. פה אנחנו פשוט פה על ידי, לא פעם ולא פעמיים, בדיונים פנימיים בא וניתח את איך...
To answer like a good Jew with a question. What the war between Iraq and Iran, how does that involve red lines as far as Israel is concerned? It's hard for me to see.
That's the question.
I must, if you permit me,
yes.
I'm at a loss, reading our newspapers and hearing our radio and listening to what many important people say, what the, should I call it panic, I don't know, perhaps it's exaggerated, concerning Jordan is. What has been happening in Jordan that poses an imminent threat, an immediate threat to Israel that forces us to fix red lines? Well, we don't like the fact that Iraq is getting supplies, military supplies and other supplies via the port of Aqaba, but this is for the war in the Shatt al-Arab. What can we or what should we do about it? Well, I would say, first of all, it depends how the war will develop. At the moment, as both sides, which are inimical to us, our strong enemies, are hurting each other, not that we are happy that people are spilling each other's blood, but from a strategic point of view I'm speaking, this is something that is not in our disfavor. On the other hand, a two-smashing victory for the Iranian revolutionary regime is in our favor, is not in our favor as well, because we have no benefit to hope for from the development and the success and the exploitation of success by the revolutionary Khomeini Islamic regime. So, therefore I say, it seems to me that the chances are, at this point in time, of course one must be very careful because it is hard to say how things will develop, and I'll say immediately why it's hard to say. Now, I said before, it is difficult to say how the war will develop and what the outcome will be, because we more or less now know the strength of the Iraqi armed forces. Less strong than expected. But what we do not know yet is the capability and the staying power and the possibility to make a comeback and a counterattack of the Iranian forces. We know that they are less weak than expected, but we do not know how strong they are, A, to maintain resistance and prevent the Iraqis from achieving a major victory, and B, whether they'll have the strength for a comeback in a country.
Sir, regarding your Syrian and Israel equation of their tacit understanding, now that Iraq has broken off diplomatic relations with Syria and Libya for running weapons to Iran, how could this change that equation? Could it make the Syrians want to do something drastic to change pace, or perhaps make them more agreeable to a settlement with Israel, or what?
It's very hard to analyze because we know very little about all those kind of hesitation and concerning that Syria has and their willingness or unwillingness to do anything with Israel, because you know that all the declarations are against it. Publicly, they say nothing to signal to Israel that they would like to have any tacit negotiation with Israel.
Then how did you
But
determine that there is a tacit
yes,
understanding?
but my conclusion came not from public announcement, but by analyzing their behavior, the real behavior, during their involvement in Lebanon. And all my remarks were based on this kind of analyzing and not by declaration. You cannot expect them to declare openly that they want any negotiation with Israel. But I believe that the current situation between Iraq and Iran make them much more willing to go into such a process
In Lebanon.
in Lebanon.
So do you think that Lebanon has
Lebanon,
become Syria's
Lebanon.
Of course, in Lebanon.
Vietnam?
Please?
Do you think that Lebanon has become Syria's Vietnam?
I think it's an exaggeration.
A potential threat, and that we no longer have what the media have described here as a potential powder keg in Lebanon?
For the time being, it depends how the two parties are going to handle the situation in the near future. What I mentioned, or I came to the conclusion, is that for the time being, it is less expected that a war can be started in Lebanon without one of the two sides deliberately please escalation. To make it more clearly, I don't think that the other parties in Lebanon, I mean the Palestinians and the Christians, can bring the two big powers in Lebanon, which is Syria and Israel, to war without their own willingness.
Does the new friendship pact between the Soviet Union and Syria change your equation in any way?
No, I think it reflects many things, of course.
You see it more as a defensive thing rather than as some of the current political leaders of Israel who are very concerned about its offensive capability.
I wouldn't go to such a current
About Syria.
in the area and to penetrate a little bit as far as possible